Hello and welcome to VC House channel. And today we are talking to Ali Abussaud. He is founding and managing partner at Hala Ventures, and we'll ask him today about his VC secrets. Hello, Ali.
Hello, Alexander. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm pretty good, pretty good. In the beginning, I would like to thank you actually for inviting
Uh,
me. It's
Not
very much
now,
respected.
probably. Ali, uh, you are living and working in a really interesting country in Saudi Arabia, and we don't know a lot. But firstly, I would like to ask you, as I see from your LinkedIn profile, you decided to become a VC approximately 3 years ago. Yeah, right?
Yes, true,
Pretty
true.
right. So don't you think it was a bad idea?
Honestly speaking, it took a leap of faith, as I could explain it. So what happened, it's like back in 2014, it's where when I founded actually Financial Horizon Group. During the same period, we decided, me and my partner, to establish a corporate fund where we will be investing across different asset classes, after some times we thought it's a little bit boring, especially if you will do some kind of equity, real estate, even a private equity, because you wouldn't really have to play an active role. And we thought that we're still young, and we have multiple of experiences across the banking industry as well as being founders ourselves. So we thought about doing something different. So we've been interested in the venture capital space, but there was nothing in the region, especially like in specifically in Saudi Arabia. So we've been looking until 2017, where we spotted the first VC opportunity. It was in Dubai. And since then, we decided we will only continue investing in this kind of a space. So we worked for some time, and still there was no initiatives from the government in Saudi Arabia for this VC. We were only very few players in the market. And until 2008, end of 2018 approximately, where the government of Saudi Arabia, they suddenly they launched the vision, the 2030 visions, and they wanted to conduct simulations where they will support and highly empower the SME companies. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. I remember this, and I know about the Entrepreneurship Cup. Yes, and
Exactly, exactly.
we'll talk
So
about it.
luckily, we've been in the space,
Now,
and what happened that once the government started the initiatives, part of the initiative, they also actually, I think before that, they have formed the SME authority. Okay, the SME authority actually it plays amazing, role just to simulate the market across the sectors. How can they simulate the business, the SMEs? How can we make to empower those kind of SMEs? What kind of issues are they facing? How can they be supported? So part of those simulations, they have launched different initiatives. One
okay,
of them,
I will ask you about this in details a little bit later. But
yeah,
firstly,
yeah, sorry.
no, no,
I'm
it's okay. Tell me, if you decide to raise VC fund in Saudi Arabia, where you need to go?
Good question. First, typically for any successful VC raising, first you have to start with strong anchor investors because provided you have strong anchor investors, then you will make sure that you have international standard agreement, etc., where other private investors, whether global or international, will be comfortable to talk to you. So in Saudi Arabia, what we did, we started with the fund of Saudi PIF, and as well as with other sovereign fund called the Saudi Venture Capital Company. It is backed by the SME authority.
Okay, so you have one anchor investor, very good anchor investor.
Yes.
Okay, I see, I see. Because you know, we really don't know a lot about, yeah, Saudi Arabia. Okay. And what about Entrepreneurship Cup? So whose idea was it?
The idea of launching, you mean the VC?
I mean, you know about this cup, Entrepreneurship Cup, which is going on in, yeah?
Yes, exactly. So what happened actually is that there were different ministries in Saudi Arabia. There is the Ministry of Investment, okay, and there is the SME Authority, and there are other initiatives part of the sovereign funds also within the Saudi Arabia. All of them, they decided to have a collaboration between all of them. How can they simulate the market? So based on that, they come up with so many initiatives. And first, how can they have conduct, let's say, the entrepreneurship? Let's say, how can they simulate the market so they can bring even entrepreneurs from out of other regions to Saudi Arabia? And also, how can also empower the current employees to leave their job and start their own businesses, you know? So it's been tricky. At the beginning, so many people, they were saying, you know, nothing will happen. You know, who wants to leave a good paid job to start their own business? You know, and who wants to come to Saudi Arabia? So many people, they were be having a debate. Right now, as we speak, without any exaggeration, you know, so many entrepreneurs internationally from across the globe, they are very much interested to come to Saudi and start their business or move their business to Saudi Arabia, not only because you know of the initiatives, because the access of capital, because it's an amazing place to live in right now. It's changing a lot. It has so much. It's a safe environment. It is very much close to you know. It is the hub of the MENA region. So I think all of those diameters, it's been existing.
Interesting, interesting. And what about your fund strategy? So you invest only in Saudi Arabia startups, or what is the geography of your investments?
So Hala Ventures invest in Saudi Arabia, other GCC countries, Jordan, and Egypt.
Okay, so MENA countries.
I would say yes, MENA, excluding some of other countries. Yeah,
Okay,
Middle
okay,
East.
okay. And you have already made some investments, yes, in the
Yeah,
past.
the latest fund, actually, which was launched last August, has currently 10 portfolio companies.
Okay, and how many of them are in Saudi Arabia?
As we speak, we have like two of them, they have branches in Saudi Arabia,
Uh,
and the remaining between Egypt, Jordan, and UAE.
So mostly it's out of Saudi Arabia countries, yeah.
Yeah, the plan, actually, we intend to have 50% to be in Saudi Arabia,
Okay, okay. I
5%
see.
to
Just
be,
interesting.
yes,
What is
GCC.
a strategy? And for the startups which will look for our interview with you, what else you can say about your strategy? I mean, the average check, stages, industries which you are investing in.
Absolutely. So let me give you more about the strategy so it will be very much clear. So we do invest in early growth stages, mostly in software startup. We don't get to invest in hardware components. Okay. So as I mentioned, the jurisdictions, beside the jurisdiction, we tend to wear two different hats. So we're active venture capitalists, and we also wear the hat of the consultant. Okay.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
additionally, we ideally invest in post-revenue stages up to Series A for new investment, and we tend to keep not less than 50% of the fund capital reserved for follow-on investment.
Mhm, mhm. Okay, okay, wonderful. I see. Good. And what about startups? So if we look for the past 10 years, yeah, uh, how many startups was 10 years ago and what is the situation today?
You mean in Saudi Arabia
Yeah,
alone?
yes. Yes, yes.
Look, in Saudi Arabia, if we will talk before 2019, in 2019 alone, there's been tremendous growth in number of startups, in the funding itself, number of rounds, okay? And first half of 2020, it exceeded the full year of 2019. And now also we expect to have tremendous growth in the remaining two quarters
Mm-hmm.
or actually few more days to finish the year, and we expect it to have an amazing numbers for Saudi Arabia. So Saudi Arabia, as per the latest report, which was done by Magnet platform, it is the third biggest in the MENA region in terms of startup investment, and I think in very few years down the road, it will be number one is
Mm-hmm. 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 Great, great. So the industry started to bloom, yeah?
substantially, yes.
Ah, so it's a good time to come to Saudi Arabia market.
It is certainly it's an amazing time to come to Saudi Arabia market.
And if okay, probably usually we talk about types of startups which are local, and it's mostly like local businesses or small medium businesses, and the startups which wanna conquer the global markets. D- do they leave the country or do they stay in Saudi Arabia? What can you say about it?
Very good question. Always, whenever we tend to invest in any company, first thing we try to identify the addressable market. So the addressable market globally, it's the most important market for us. So we don't only target the Saudi Arabia. So whenever we start the initial conversations with any entrepreneurs, we try to understand whether they have part of their strategy to accelerate to let's say go out of the country later on, or they just want to keep having their business in their country without really expand to other country. So it's very important for us for any startup we invest in to grow further until they have other branches across the globe, because unless you conduct this kind of strategy, it will not be really easy to have a unicorn.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And what about structuring the deal? Is it usually Saudi Arabia entity, so the company which is registered in Saudi Arabia or anywhere?
Now, usually we prefer to have it an international jurisdiction like Cayman, BVI, Delaware, ADG, and the IFC, something like that, and the
Mhm.
operating company to be listed or registered in Saudi Arabia.
Okay, okay, I see, I see. Thank you. Uh, really interesting. And okay, what is your? I don't know. Maybe it's a hard question for every VC because everybody has a lot of startups. But what do you think is the most promising startup in your portfolio?
Well, actually, honestly speaking, we do have more than one promising portfolios where we tend to even follow on in them, or some of them where we heavily invested in them. So it's tricky to answer this question
Yeah,
because
I know.
one day it might be,
They
the best,
changed.
the other
Yeah.
day the other way around. But we are proud of investing in most of our startups. But I could tell you, like for example, the story of two of them probably. One of them called Serwa. Serwa is a robo advisory wealth management, so it's a fintech. Okay, it was started in Dubai by three amazing founders. So what happened basically, when they started in Dubai at the beginning, they already had the strategy to expand later on, to dominate the market in UAE, and later on also capture other customer base in other GCC and later MENA region. So right now, since we invested in them back in 2018 until now, they have grew really tremendously. whether a number, because usually we get to evaluate such startup based on the AUM, which is the asset under management. So the asset under management to grow from nothing to really, really amazing number. It's tremendous number. I cannot really mention how much is that, but we are very much happy with the month-on-month growth. And recently they have also launched the Sarwa X new platform where they will be giving better, let's say, user interface for the users. So we believe this kind of business is really highly scalable and can be really witness tremendous and sustainable growth. There is another also portfolio company which we recently invested in, maybe during the pandemic. Actually, it is within the entertainment sector. It's called 360 Views. What they do, basically, it's like a multimedia company that specialize in creating streaming content in 360 technology. Okay, so usually they go and, for example, sometimes they sign exclusive agreement with well-known backstage, content or backstage ceremonies or events or whatsoever. So currently they have lots of users, and they have integration with YouTube, they have integration with TikTok, they have integration with Snapchat. So it's amazing how he was able to achieve all of that, and he was able to capture so many market shares. So we do see it, really promising, and we believe that they could reach much bigger than that.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay, and if uh, we talk, every VC makes in his investments or in his decision some errors in the process of taking decision. Yeah, and which of them you would recommend to escape for those guys who just starting, and from your own experience, maybe.
Absolutely. The fact is that so many new investors, they tend to get overwhelmed whenever they see an amazing opportunity. Oh wow, it's an amazing product, I like it, I used it and I think it's gonna really work. And they miss the opportunity to really conduct a due diligence, or let's say proper due diligence on the founder themselves. So I believe that the founder is the vein actually of the startup. So unless you have a powerful and amazing and dedicated and clean and all kind of adjective you could add before, entrepreneurs or the founder, it's the most important than the idea. So I highly recommend that you spend enough time, you try to really sit with them, understand them, try to find whether you really cross paths together, because so many investors, they get to invest in a great opportunity. Later on, they will not really click with the founder, or they will believe that the founder, he's not listening to them, or he's not really coachable, or he's not really care about the investor anymore. So it's very important to understand the founder, because, like, for example, if I will go back to the beginning of the COVID-19, those companies where they were having strong, amazing entrepreneurs, they tend to last forever. Or let's say, okay, on the shorter term, they already made it through the pandemic, because they're strategically strong. They knew what to do, and they could get rid of any kind of disaster. But those with amazing product but weak entrepreneurs, with the first shake, they will fall down. So I will highly recommend that, and emphasize that dig further, try to understand the person you are investing in, and you could I always get to tell them that the entrepreneurship, or investing with entrepreneur is just like a marriage. So you will have to spend time with them. You will have to really get comfortable with them and get along with them. So when you reach into the comfort zone and you are 100% sure that, okay, I like this person, and I want to keep seeing this person, then you make the decision of investing with them.
Thank you very much, Ali. Thank you very much for this advice. And probably the last question. Uh, Do you believe that in the future Saudi Arabia can become a center of venture capital industry, at least in MENA region?
Yes, I am 100% certain that we are moving towards this path. If you will look into all kind of official data that were released by the various ministries of Saudi Arabia, it tells you clearly how much kind of growth and where is it heading. Actually, in some of the sectors, they are among the globe, in the entrepreneurship and the growth, etc. So I believe in a few years down the road, it will be seen as the let's say the major venture capital hub for the MENA region, and hopefully later on it will be very much notified for among the globe.
Thank you, Ali, and I really was glad to talk with you today. I think it's really interesting interview, and I personally know much more now about Saudi Arabia venture capital market.
The pleasure is all mine, and thank you very much for your time. And it's always nice to spread the word about different places, different countries. It's very nice. Sometimes you don't know that there exist. You don't know what kind of opportunities they have. So it's been, I believe, good opportunity to speak about Saudi Arabia as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.